Survivor is a popular reality TV show spanning 35 seasons, holy shit, that's pretty popular, where a group of people must battle it out in the wild and, well, just generally survive, as the title of the TV show indicates. I've never actually seen the TV show, so I don't know, or, well, care much about it, but I do know that there have been attempts to bring this TV show to the world of PC gaming, attempts such as this. However, the most jarring of these attempts is when the show is brought over to the realm of fan games, and that's exactly the case with today's topic. Survivor. On Roblox. Wait, hold on, don't leave just yet. It's actually pretty good, just hold on a second. The game starts off with all the contestants on an island, and we get to see our two teams. Potential, and, Insomnia. Just like gym class dodgeball, we vote our two team captains, and then those captains take turns picking team members. And also, just like gym class dodgeball, I'm one of the last few people to get picked. I end up getting dragged onto Team Potential. I also see that our team captains seem to have the maturity of middle school students, which, considering this is Roblox, they probably are middle school students. It's a fucking boys vs girls team setup. Sorry, I don't want to be sexist. Motherfucker, you literally only chose girls for your team. Oh, well, we have 2 guys on the team, so, never mind, I guess. At this point, I should probably introduce you, the viewer, to our entire team, via montage. Well, anyways, after we get to sit around and socialize for a while, we're thrown into the first challenge, a short obstacle course. One member from each team is selected to face off against each other. The first person of the 2 to reach the end scores their team a point. It's not at all a difficult challenge, yet some people really did shit. However, in the end, we managed to win by a single point. Since Insomnia is the losing team, tonight they'll have to go to Tribal Council and vote one of their own out. However, we don't actually get to see what's happening at the Tribal Council. We only know what's going on by seeing what Jeff is saying. Oh, yeah, Jeff. I didn't even mention him yet, have I? Well, Jeff is the host of the game. He's an AI character who serves no other purpose than to tell you what's going on. However, despite that, he's still one of the most boring, bland, and basic game show hosts I've ever seen. I don't know if he's from the TV show since I've never actually seen the TV show, but if he is from the show, I really hope that he isn't nearly as boring as he is in this game. While Insomnia is at Tribe Council for the night, we get to spend the night sitting around and socializing at the island. Or, if we don't spend the night socializing, we could just instead spend it exploring the island and searching for hidden items, such as coins and immunity items. I'll get back to that later, however, because it's time for the next challenge. This challenge is violent, mindless, and fun. Basically, you stand on this tiny platform holding huge Q-tips, whacking each other with them until someone falls off. Knock your opponent off the platform to score a point for your team. These battles are oddly fun and intense. I was fucking terrible at this, but still managed to win simply because my opponent rolled off the platform, all on his own.
Let's see that again!
Despite how intense the battles are when you're actually in them, seeing them from a distance is just laughable. It's just 2 tiny Lego people spazzing around, it's great. We managed to win this challenge as well, so Team Insomnia has to go through another night of Tribal Council, twiddling down their member count even more. At this point in the game, my team decides to have a serious conversation about, in the event that we lose a challenge, who will collectively vote off. The general consensus seems to be that we'll vote Guest off, despite already establishing that he's MVP. Clearly, he's not actually the most valuable player of our team if we all want to kick him off. Also, Guest is like, right here you guys, he can see what you're saying. After that whole experience, it's time for a third challenge. This challenge is very similar to the first, as in it's an obstacle course. The difference here is that it takes place underwater and that you not only need to make it to the end of the course, but you also have to make it all the way back to the beginning. However, also unlike the first challenge, this one puts you in groups of 2. The first group of 2 to make it there and back wins their team a single point. Now, this whole thing with groups of 2 isn't so that 2 people can work together as a team and help each other out. There's literally nothing you can do to help your teammate, you just have to worry about your own task. So it doesn't matter if you're hauling ass. If your teammate lags behind, the point will go to the other team. However, I don't have to worry about that issue, since while I'm waiting for my slow teammate, the other team's group of 2 were content with just jumping around and not even doing the obstacle course. The challenge ends on a tie, with both teams having 4 points. However, since our team were the last to score our 4th point, we're sent off to Tribal Council. Team Insomnia, you may have won this round, but we'll be back. While most of us took the loss of this challenge well, some people, on the other hand, didn't, and they conveyed their anger and frustration through, text chat roleplay. We must now each take turns voting out one of our team members. Of course, I did my duty as a freedom-loving Team Potential member and voted out Guest, like I was instructed to do like 5 minutes prior to this. After we take our turns voting who we want banished from this realm, Jeff, very boringly, reads out the votes. Guest. Selena. Selena? Guys, this wasn't the plan. Vivian? Guys, this wasn't the plan! However, despite that slight deviation from our plan, it's okay because Guest still got voted out with 6 votes. 6 fucking votes. I know it should be expected, but it's just so funny seeing someone get 6 votes. Holy shit. We then get to see Guest have his torch put out. However, despite this truly heartbreaking moment, that stock smile never drops from his face. Goodbye, Guest. You did nothing of use for us, really only held us back, and we'll probably be much better off without you, but we'll miss you. Actually, no. No, we won't. Good riddance. However, unexpectedly, the teams are swapped up. I was torn away from my team and dragged to Team Insomnia against my will. However, not really, because I pretty much still have all my team members. Only like 2 or 3 different members. The next challenge fucking sucks. One member of each team is put up in front of everyone and shown a sequence of objects. The first person to correctly repeat the sequence gets their team a point. At least with the other challenges, you could see what was going on, and there was some tension as you watched the 2 players competing. With this, well, you have no idea what's going on, and it really sucks. Hell, even getting to play the challenge itself is boring as is, let alone watching others play it. On the plus side, we won the challenge, giving us free time on the island. During this free time, I actually managed to find myself an immunity item. Well, a stick. Yeah, I found a stick in a bush. Apparently this can grant me immunity, somehow. It's time for the next challenge, but before that, the teams are splitting up, sending us into a game of free-for-all. So, in all honesty, the team swap from earlier meant jack shit because we ended up getting separated literally like 3 minutes later. Anyways, as for the next challenge, this one is probably the most fun, yet also the most, not very well handled. Basically, we're each given a tile design, and we have to jump around on this giant board to recreate the design. First person to complete 2 designs wins the challenge, therefore winning immunity. Now, while I do like the idea of this challenge, these tiles are just so fucking finicky. Like 36.3214% of the time, the panel doesn't actually change when you step on it, making it quite annoying. Then sometimes the panels are super sensitive and will change if you dare accidentally graze up against the side of them. I don't know if it's lag or just incompetent programming, but as someone who used to use RBX Lua, this is something that's extremely easy to program. This should not be having this issue. Despite this, I still managed to win, and somehow I'm all of a sudden a fucking celebrity among the contestants. Anyways, after another boring tribal council, Doge gets voted out of the game, and I'm pretty sure I'm the only person happy about this.
No, Doge. Dot dot dot.
If you idiots are upset that Doge was voted out, then why the fuck would you all vote him out in the first place? Also, there, it's official. Doge is dead. Please stop with the Doge memes. It's officially dead. Luckily, the actual dog isn't, though. It's still alive and as adorable as ever, but the meme itself is dead. Please no more Doge profile pictures. Anyways, after that, the next challenge all has us holding onto a giant pool for our dear lives. We do this by playing a little rhythm game, but without the rhythm. So, what's a rhythm game without the rhythm? Is there even a term for that? Anyways, it starts out very easy at first, but actually slowly progresses to becoming legitimately difficult. After a long, hard Dick Joe battle, I randomly fall off the Dick Joe pole, even though I didn't mess up. What the fuck is this bullshit? Wait, never mind, I won. This means that I have immunity for the 2nd night in a row. However, this tribal council is a bit more interesting than previous tribal councils, since people who've been voted off in the past start getting called in as the jury. If there's a tie, the jury votes to break the tie, adding another layer to the tribal council. Anyways, I'm going to be voting for, Marshall JJ? I don't know, I really don't actually have a plan right now. Oddly enough, the first night that we have a jury is also the first night that we have a tie. The contestants, along with the single person sitting all the way over there in the jury, now get to vote a tiebreaker. Now, despite that I originally voted Marshall out, it seems that people actually really like Donkey, and since I want to piss people off, I'm going to be voting for him instead. Anyways, another day, another challenge. This one is kinda strange and probably the worst challenge so far. Besides the memory game, of course. That was just terrible. This challenge has you pushing boxes across a wooden strip to create a bridge. It's very easy, and, well, not at all fun. This was also the second challenge all game that I've lost. Anyways, since this is the first night that I don't have immunity, people are already eager to kick me off, naturally, of course. However, luckily, it seems like people hate Marshall just a little bit more than they hate me, and he gets voted out with one more vote than me. After a while, the contestant count is dwindled down to only 4. Me, Matt, Hannah, and Vivian. At this point, I realize that Matt is the only person to win a challenge besides me, and he's probably my biggest threat so far, so naturally I start plotting against him. My little alliance with the other two goes as planned, and Matt is voted out. Now it's down to the final 3. However, rather than battling out in a challenge for victory, we're immediately brought back to the tribal council. Now, the jury gets to vote who wins the entire game. You see these 3 people who I've pissed off over the course of the game? Yeah, they get to decide my fate. Unsurprisingly, I don't get a single vote from them. Hannah is the winner of Survivor, and I go back to wanting to end myself. Wait, where'd this confetti come from? I thought we were on a deserted tropical island. How'd they get confetti rigged up? Wait a second, who are all you people?
Where the fuck did you come from? How did you get here? What the fuck is going on?